Yeah, hi, dear aspirants. Today, in our rapid revision series, we are going to see a very important part of the polity, that is the parliament. Now, as all of you people know, that India is a parliamentary form of democracy where the needs, aspiration, and representation of the people used to get satisfied at the level of the parliament, which is it is also known as Westminster form of governance, which we have borrowed it or inspired from the UK structure. Now, when we talk about the constitutional position of the parliament, Article 79 it gives the reflection with respect to this constitutional framework, which says that India needs to have a parliament. Now, for the revision purpose, please remember the parliament it consists of three important segments. First is the Rajya Sabha, that is House of Elder. Second is Lok Sabha, that is House of the People. And third is the President of India, who is also the head of the state. Now, a very key conceptual part which are being often missed by the aspirant is that the President of India, even though he or she may not be the member of the parliament, but he is an integral part of the parliament. Now, why is it so? Because all those bills which have been passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they are being given consent by the President of India. Only then it will become law. This structure it reflects the British parliamentary model, but here in India we have the strongest constitutional safeguard with respect to assent and consent of the bill. Then, when we talk about the parliamentary structure, we follow the bicameralism in India. Now, what is the reason that we do have the bicameralism? Because we want to satisfy the federal principle in India. Because India, which have been formed from amalgamating 562 princely states and 11 British provinces, we wanted that the states should get the proper representation at the union level. At the same time, the House of Elder, that is the Rajya Sabha, it prevents the hasty representation, provide proper checks and balance, and that's why we do need the second chamber of parliament as well. Okay, but you need to remember this particular fact that the Rajya Sabha they do not have equal status with Lok Sabha with respect to the money bill. Money bill is a specific mandate of the Lok Sabha. Now, when we talk about the Lok Sabha, there are various articles which deals with its composition. Like Article 81, it talks about the composition of Lok Sabha. Currently, the maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 552, while the present strength is 543. Tenure of the Lok Sabha member used to be of the 5 years. Now, when we talk about all these members, out of this total composition, 530 members are being allocated to the states, 20 members are being allocated to the UTs, and previously, two Anglo members were also being nominated. However, they have been removed after 104th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, one thing which you need to remember with respect to the territorial constituency of Lok Sabha, that the delimitation has been frozen until 2026. Okay, it is based on 42nd and 84th Constitutional Amendment Act. Then when we talk about the Rajya Sabha, its composition has been reflected under Article 80 of Indian Constitution. Rajya Sabha used to have the maximum strength of 250 members. Currently, the Rajya Sabha is having the strength of 245. 12 nominated members also used to be there. Now, who are all those nominated members and who appoints them? So, the President of India used to appoint the phenomenal people from the sections like literature, science, art, social service. They do appoint the people from this eminent field as a member of Rajya Sabha. Who appoint them? The President of India. Now, when we talk about the Rajya Sabha, the elections with respect to Rajya Sabha, it is being made on the principle that is proportional representation by single transferable vote. Who used to choose the members or elect the members? The elected members of the state legislative assemblies, they are the part of the electoral college, means they used to give the vote with respect to electing the member of Rajya Sabha. When we talk about the tenure and continuity of this particular chambers of parliament, so as I told to you before that the Lok Sabha used to have a term and tenure of 5 years, but it can be dissolved earlier. However, during the time of national emergency, as per spirit of Article 352, its duration can be extended. How much duration it can be extended? 1 year at a particular time. This is regarding the Lok Sabha. Then what about the Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha is a continuing chamber or the permanent chamber. It has been made so that a continuity with respect to the functioning of parliament can be done. Now, with respect to the composition, I told you regarding 250 members, 243 right now, 245 right now. One third of the total members they retire every 2 years. Okay, thus in this particular manner, the continuity of the parliament has been maintained. Now the parliament used to conduct its business in form of packets, that is the session. Article 85 of Indian Constitution talks about this session. Article 85 it says that the President of India summons the parliament. There is nothing like that ki how many times the session needs to take place. However, the Constitution says the gap between the two sessions cannot exceed 6 months, and this used to be the question many times in the prelims examination. Normally, as per conventions, India used to have the three sessions like budget session in February, March, April, monsoon session in July, August. Then we do have the winter session in November, December. However, please remember, this thing have not been mentioned in the Indian Constitution. These are only the conventions, not the constitutional provisions. And many times the UPSC used to trap in this particular aspect. Now, who are all the officers of the parliament who run the parliament? So Article 93, it talks about the officers or the office bearer of the parliament. Article 93, it talks about the speaker of the Lok Sabha, who has the role with respect to presiding over Lok Sabha. He maintains the order, he maintains proper rules, decorum inside the Lok Sabha. At the same time, as per Article 110, he gives the money bill certification. Now, when we talk about this particular thing, unless and until there would be a malified intention would be there, the certification of the speaker would be final. Then, the deputy speaker is the second highest office bearer in the Lok Sabha. In the 17th Lok Sabha from 2019 onwards, we haven't seen the deputy speaker position in the Lok Sabha. Usually from the opposition parties, the members are being nominated as the Lok Sabha deputy speaker. So these are the office bearer of Lok Sabha. What about the Rajya Sabha? The Rajya Sabha chairman, the Vice President of India used to be the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Article 89, it says that Vice President being an ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha doesn't need to have the membership of that particular house. Then the deputy chairman, it is being elected from among the Rajya Sabha members. Then with respect to the legislative procedure, so the bill, it is having the different kind of stages like the first reading, the second reading, the committee stage for the deliberation, discussion and all, report stage. Then the third reading used to be there. Okay, then it used the same process used to happen in the other house, and then the presidential assent. So these are all the orders and structure with respect to the bill in the parliament. So that is regarding the structure. Then what are the types of the bill? There are various kind of bills are there like ordinary bill, constitutional amendment bill, money bill, financial bill. So when we talk about the ordinary bill, it can originate in either house of the parliament, and in case of any kind of disagreement, the resolution are being sought via joint sitting as per Article 108. Generally, it is being presided by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and if the Lok Sabha speaker is not present, then the deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha can preside. Till now, only 3 joint sittings have happened. First, with respect to Dowry Prohibition Bill of 1961. Second, with respect to Banking Service Commission Repeal Bill of 1978. And third, with respect to the POTA Bill of 2002, that is Prevention of Terrorism Act. So that is regarding the ordinary bill. Then second is the money bill. Article 110, it talks about the money bill. The money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha, and as per Article 110, it requires the certification of the Speaker. Do the Rajya Sabha have any special power with respect to money bill? No. They can only recommend the changes, and it's up to the Lok Sabha whether to accept those changes or not. the Rajya Sabha needs to return that particular bill within 14 days, else that particular bill deemed to be passed by the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha may accept the recommendations which have been suggested by the Rajya Sabha or may not accept it. They may reject it as well. Then the other important aspect is the financial bill. It has been reflected under Article 117 subclause 1 as a financial bill type 1 and Article 117 subclause 3 as a financial bill type 2. Now the most aspirants is to get confused in it. Financial bill 1, it consists of money bill plus extra architecture related with it, while financial bill 3, it talks about financial bill 2, it talks about the expenditure side. Now when we talk about the working of the parliament, the committees, they plays a very critical role. So we do have different kind of committees like standing committee. Standing committee are nothing but the permanent committee. The examples are public account committee, which are generally being headed by the opposition member. Then the estimate committee, and the third is the committee on public undertaking. Then we do have departmentally related standing committee. They are total 24 in number. They used to focus with respect to some specific department and ministerial work. They examine the various bills related with that ministry or department. They review that particular ministry's budget. They scrutinize the policy related with that particular ministry or department. That is the whole mandate with respect to this 24 departmental standing committee. Then, being a member of the parliament, being a member of the legislature, obviously you need to have certain kind of privileges. In which particular article we find the reflection of it? We do find the reflection of it under Article 105, which provides major privileges to the member of the legislature, like freedom of speech in parliament. If you're talking rationally, no one can stop you. Then immunity from court proceedings, specifically the civil court proceeding. Then right to regulate the internal proceedings of the house and right to punish for breach of privilege. So the legislature also have their contempt power as well. However, please remember the privileges are not fully codified in India. We have taken it large section from the conventions of the UK. So this is regarding that particular aspect. Then the one major aspects which you need to revise is the anti-defection law. It has been added during Mr. Rajiv Gandhi time in 1985 via 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Therein we had added 10th Schedule of Indian Constitution. It talks about the various grounds for the disqualification, like if you are voluntarily giving up the party membership, if you are voting against the party whip means the order of the party, if an independent member joining any particular party at any instant of time, and if nominated members would be joining any other party after 6 months, means the bandwidth of 6 months have been given to the nominated member. So these are the various parameters with respect to disqualification under the 10th schedule. Very famous case related with it are Kyoto Holohan versus Jachilu case of 1993. Now, in our Westminster form of governance, the executive is responsible toward the Lok Sabha. Means indirectly the parliament is controlling over the executive. So which are those tools? Please revise it. They are the question hours, they are the zero hour, they are the adjournment motion, calling attention motion, and the most extreme by which the government used to get fall is the no confidence motion. Regarding no confidence motion, there was a question in 2014 prelims examination. Indirectly, the reference you may find it under Article 75. So please remember, in any democracy, the government survives only if they have the majority. They have the confidence of Lok Sabha. So if they would be losing that particular confidence, then the opposition may bring in the no confidence motion. The minimum members which are required to admit the no confidence motion is 50 members. It is nowhere mentioned in the constitution, but indirectly we can find its reference from Article 75. Now when we talk about the Rajya Sabha, there are certain special powers have been given to the Rajya Sabha. Like Article 249, it allows the Parliament and Rajya Sabha to legislate with respect to the state list enshrined in the 7th Schedule of Indian Constitution. If Rajya Sabha passes that kind of resolution with 2/3 of the majority, how much would be the validity of that particular bill which has been passed? It used to have the validity of 1 year. That you need to remember. Apart from this, the Rajya Sabha used to have a special power with respect to creation of All India services under Article 312. So till now, IAS, IPS, Indian Forest Service and all have been created by the Rajya Sabha under the aegis, under the inception of Rajya Sabha. That aspects you need to remember, very critical for an examination point of view. Then there always used to be the debate between parliamentary sovereignty versus constitutional supremacy. In the Lakshmikant also you would be finding it at the last part of that parliament chapter. Please remember, unlike Britain, India's parliament is not sovereign. India's parliament is not supreme. So then what kind of structure do we have? In India, we have constitutional supremacy. And whatever the legislation laws are being made by the parliament, that would be judicially reviewed. Like you might have heard about very famous case of Keshwanand Bharati versus State of Kerala, 1973, wherein we have established the basic structure doctrine. Thus, the parliament cannot amend certain basic elements of Indian democracy, like quasi-federalism, judicial review, socialism, rule of law, equality before law, parliamentary democracy, likewise. So, this all aspects you need to remember. This have been again reaffirmed by the Supreme Court in Minerva Mill case as well. So, this is regarding all the important aspects with respect to the parliament, which you need to remember. And majority of the times the question is to get revolved around this particular aspect as well. At the same time, just glance through all the PYQs which are related with the parliament, because again they are very very crucial in order to understand the trend and thinking of the UPSC, and that would be giving you the huge booster with respect to the preparation. So for today's rapid revision, we would be culminating here. We would be meeting again with some new topic which are very crucial for your preparation. Thank you so much. Have a good day.